I'm just taking advantage of sunshine while we can. Every time we have a really nice sunny day, I bring my peppers back out. And because it's in a greenhouse, they don't feel that little bit of a chill that's in air, so it'll do them good. And then of course at night, we take them back indoors. I've just been checking on those Florence red onions. They're coming along alright, but they're growing very slowly. That's them there. And you can see we've got some bulbs developing. These, not so good though. Very skinny. They're all at different stages. But hopefully we'll get a bit of something by Christmas. I noticed tops of some of them have fallen over as well, but that's what they do. At this point, they should now start to bulb up a little bit. And these carrots have all fell over as well. That container's actually quite heavy, so it's not water. Definitely got carrots growing in there. But all the tops are all leaning over now. But they took a bit of a battering by that wind over the last few days, so I had to bring them in greenhouse. We've got something happening down there. I can see it top of a carrot. Unfortunately, it has not been covered up. Just show you that one there, down there. That one. It's not been covered up, so it started to go green. I'll cover it up now. Oh, it's a little bit too late. The rest of the carrot will be fine, so I've got to keep my eye on that. It's only top parts that are exposed that go green. There's another one down there as well. We'll have a good look through that this morning and make sure everything's covered up. That container's not doing too bad though. We're going to have to start and space these out a little bit. They're way too close together. But that's them resistor flies again. So we're going to have to pull out every other one of those. Like, there's two right next to each other there. So ideally, you'd want to be taking that one out. Try and leave a little bit of space between them. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with tiny little carrots. Same there as well. That's a decent amount of space that we've got now. And then next to it, we've got two more. So in between that one, I'll just pull that out. Get rid of that weed, I'll rat it. And now them carrots are spaced out a lot better. But we've got quite a lot to go through in this container. So that's going to be another job over the next couple of days. They're at that size now where it's perfect for starting to space them a little bit. And it's a job that you're going to have to do if you want to get carrots of any size. And we've still got a bit of salad on go as well. A couple of containers. French mixed salad, and then we've got that Apache red. Still doing alright, although they're a little light, so they might need a bit of water today. Strawberries are doing alright. It's quite unfortunate actually, because these are new plants that we've took off of the main plants and we've potted them on ready for next year. And one of these, I think it was this one, I think it was that one, had got a strawberry on it. And it was about as big as a ping pong ball, which is pretty good for a new plant. Well, unfortunately, a snail had it halfway through it, so that got ruined. And this beetroot's still doing alright as well. Tops of them look a bit rubbish at the moment, but it's the bottoms that we're concerned about. We should start and see signs of bulbs forming quite soon. We can get ourselves some baby beets. This has been thinned out a bit as well. Another salad container. And these definitely need thinning out. I think we'll take some of these bigger plants out of here and put them in containers on their own. I've just moved one clump of that lettuce on. It's going to do a lot better in there. And I'm going to take another piece out as well. Some nice big chunks of plant here. I don't want them to get root bound and start dying back, so if I just take out a clump carefully, like that. That's a nice chunk of lettuce there. There's a couple of plants in that, but it's going to do a lot better if I put it in this container. So we'll just pop that in there, press that all down around it. The idea of pressing it down is that it's keeping those leaves off that compost while it gets established, so it's nice and upright. And any at bottom that look a bit yellow, we'll just pick those off now. I'm just going to bunch that together a bit more, and we've got a nice little container of lettuce leaves there. I'm going to do exactly the same to all this over the next few days, because they are growing a little bit more dense than I intended. I'll probably have to do the same thing with this as well, or maybe I'll just move that entire thing into an even bigger container. That might be worth doing. We can see things are still growing, but as I've said before, they grow quite slowly at this time of year. Just water that in while I remember. Even though they're growing slow, they're still getting a bigger root system at the same time. So you've still got to keep your eye out for things like that. They'll still get root bound at this time of year, and then your plants are going to struggle. And we don't want to be doing anything that might slow them down. But that looks a bit better now. We'll get a little bit of salad out of that. And as I said with this one, it's very dense. Nothing's been taken out of that one at all, we just left it. So it might be an idea to take that entire thing out and put it into a big container. I've got one sat just there, you can just see it off camera. Oh, which is this one, it's actually quite heavy. That's a big container. So I could just take that entire thing out and then leave it to grow on even bigger. At least it's going to have enough room for its roots. And that container's not doing anything at the moment, so I might do that over the next couple of days. But first I'll have a look around the garden and see if I've got another container that might be more suitable and not so heavy. But you can see that the onions are growing, but they're growing very slowly. The carrots are all doing alright, but they definitely need thinning out. And although we're just coming up towards November, plants are still very slowly starting to get root bound. So all we need to do is move them on into bigger containers, or in the case of things like this, just separate them, just give them that extra little bit of room that they need. Because it's wrong time of year to be doing anything that's going to slow down the growth of your plants. And meanwhile, we've got these little containers here, that definitely needs a bit of water. These are ones we've just done, and we have got some germination there. And I think they're the little gem that we're going to grow into little seedlings, prick out and then move on again. We're just trying to keep things going as long as possible. So even though it just seems like you don't really need to be doing much or anything, it's always worth keep checking on things. There's not much or anything happening outdoors because we've taken up all those cabbages and I've blanched and froze all those now. So they've all been preserved for the next few months. But I were thinking about maybe digging up one of them pepper plants into the greenhouse, because some of them are quite tall. You can dig a pepper plant up out of the ground and then just put it into a pot if you want to save it. But you need to dig a good amount around the base of that plant so you're not chopping all those roots. Then you can just shake off the compost and repot it. I'll have a quick look and see what's happening in that greenhouse. I haven't actually been in there for a few days because every time I do go in that greenhouse I find a pepper with an hole in it. They are still looking not too bad. And as I was saying, look at that pepper there. That is a mess. I don't even want to touch it, it's all slimy. That's been completely devastated. But the plant itself is quite big. That's another one there. But the plant looks quite healthy. And it's nice and tall. So does this one next to it. So I don't know whether I ought to dig these up, move them on. What we got there? Another green pepper. That one's alright actually. What's next to it? That one's actually just fell off, but it has got an hole in it, so that one's alright as well. There's one at the back. That looks okay too. We've got some dead and dying leaves which we can just take away. I've actually got quite a few peppers on this plant. I think I might have a go at digging this one up. It's a little bit smaller, so better to put in a container. I'll just go around and get a good clean up. But it's got a very long stem on it. But that's how these ones grow, because they're the long sweet bell peppers. It might be worth a look. Something to think about this coming week. So a couple of little jobs done on a Sunday morning, and we're keeping our eyes on all these plants. And I'll think about those peppers. I might dig one up and see how it gets on. It's not going to be any worse than what they've been while they've been in that greenhouse, because as you've just seen, everything just keeps getting eaten. Definitely something to think about this coming week. And then tomorrow, I think, if not this afternoon, I'll move that on. We'll do a bit of thinning on those carrots. And I'm pretty sure that as we go through day, there's going to be 1 or 2 more jobs to do. So if you want to see what we're doing this coming week, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care.